Thanks for joining us again on TVC Breakfast. It's time now for us to take a look at stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning. We start off with the Daily Times this Tuesday morning, and the big story there is from the Labour Party's presidential candidate, who is quoted there saying, "I will not offer excuses as president," adding that responsibility of a leader is to solve problems and not give excuses. The LP presidential candidate is also said to have berated the federal government for failing to resolve the perennial industrial action by ASU, of course, the striking university lecturers. Now to Blueprint. Now the spokesperson of the Asiwaju Tinubu presidential campaign organization, Festus Keyamo, replying critics as well as the Labour Party presidential candidate, saying Tinubu strong, fit for presidential campaigns, goes on to accuse the LP candidate of plotting fake assassination attempt. The senior advocate of Nigeria, Festus Keyamo, also speaking on the controversial bullion van saga. All these and more on the Blueprint. Next is The Nation. PDP in distress. That's according to Benue State Governor Tom. Also, the governor is said to be blaming the Atiku Wike rift on leaders within the main opposition party. That's on The Nation. Leadership now still on the PDP crisis. It calls it a final push for reconciliation, with PDP leaders moving to pacify the River State Governor Nyesom Wike and others. Party delegation in Oyo State to see Governor Seyi Makinde, the National Working Committee, the BOT members also to visit River State Governor soon, and Wike open to visits. That's according to his aide. Finally, with me at this time is this Nigeria. The Senate orders crackdown on oil thieves, directs military security chiefs to prosecute saboteurs, urges judiciary to accelerate hearing on matters relating to economic sabotage. Now, this has been a lingering concern across the country. Now, talking about the state of the refineries, of course, the pipelines now, the insecurity, and of course, the enormosity of the oil theft around Nigeria's pipeline installations. Over now to Mike.
All right, let's get into Punch newspaper. And Punch is saying that boundary disputes worsen insecurity, 676 killed in states. And it says 444 houses razed in communal clashes in Ebonyi, Kogi, Cross River, and others. Federal government addressing 86 cases. As security experts, a lawyer blame governors in all of that. Those are some writers from that story on the Punch newspaper. That Daily Trust is next and is focusing on aviation. It says aviation workers shut airports over new law. Right? It insists the banning union activities is illegal and issue 14-day strike notice, and passengers are stranded due to that activity. Ministers deny smuggling in new clauses. Okay, that's Daily Trust. From there, let's go to First News. First News says, "Save my life. Ekwemadu's ailing daughter begs public for kidney," and says, "My father too has kidney issues. I receive 5 hours of dialysis 4 times every week." Really touching in the sad situation there. This issue has been on for quite some time now. The story on the First News. From there, let's go to Nigeria News Direct. Multiple registration. INEC deletes 11 million invalid registered voters. Wow. Oh, 1.1. It was, yeah, 1.1, sorry. All right. Multiple registration. INEC deletes 1.1 million invalid registered voters there. All right. That's a way of cleaning the records. And, of course, when you get details, you see what the new numbers are like. Okay, that's News Direct. From there, let's go to Business Day. Corporates revalue insured assets on inflation and forex pressure. Okay, corporate revalue insured assets on inflation, forex pressure. That's business day. The Guardian UK is next. Let's go there now, see what it's saying. Prime Minister under pressure to reveal details of energy crisis plan. Okay, the Guardian of the UK says the Prime Minister under pressure to reveal details of energy crisis plan. Recall that her plan, she was about to, roll out her plan when the Queen passed on. And one would believe that this would also have to make her modify some of her, plans and so on. The Independent UK is next. It says Ukraine's counterattack reaches Russian border. Zelensky's troops reclaim dozens of towns in northeast. That's Independent UK from the UK. Saudi Gazette is the last one we're looking at now. Saudi Arabia launches a popular campaign to succor flood victims in Pakistan. Right, that's what Saudi Gazette has. Kemi.
Right, and well, I like the word you used there now for the you called it a cleanup exercise of INEC. So, of course, there was a long process of continuous voter registration, and now it's time indeed to check and ensure that everything is spick and span. According to INEC, a credible voter list, credible voters generally are essential for a valid election. A valid electioneering, period that we are going into. In the matter of days now, campaigns will begin in earnest. Collection of PVCs will also begin right after or thereabout. Signifying, also signaling that indeed we have crucial business ahead of us as a nation.
Yes, the task of running a national election is not the same thing as running an election in Ekiti or Osun or Anambra. This is going to take place in 774 local governments.
Absolutely.
Well, not up to that, because there have been no such elections in some places, but every local government is involved in presidential elections.
All states
and then you have
the
legislature, then you have governors, and you have a lot of tasks to do. And so when people were saying that extend the voter registration deadline, extend the voter registration deadline, they're forgetting that it needs to be, what you said, clear.
Exactly.
You have to streamline and align the data that you have and make sure that the technology has everything covered and everything is nimble to the extent that once you press the button, you show what it is. So we are now seeing the consequence of the chairman of INEC insisting that, we can't postpone this thing because we have to do the right thing. You can't keep eating and not wait for your body to digest it. What you do, you put pressure on the kidneys, you put pressure on the liver, you put pressure on the duodenum, you put pressure on every part of your body, and then your heart too. If you're not careful, it can seize. So you have to know what you are digesting. So you don't chew more than you can. Swallow more than you can chew.
Exactly.
And then you don't chew more than you can digest. So that is what we are seeing now. And I'm not sure they are done with the exercise.
Absolutely.
They're still going along. So it might even affect the permutations. The numbers per region, per party projection, because if you take 1.1 million out of it, where did the 1.1 million come from? Is it spread across everywhere evenly? It can't be even. It can't be so mathematically even. Some areas must suffer more than others. And so by the time the exercise is done, maybe we'll have another million,
taking off the register.
and for the political parties, and rightly so, for the political parties, it's all about permutations. It's all about, okay, how strong is my state? How strong can I deliver? Some may think that we have so much time between now and February and March when the elections.
No time.
But there is, when you look at the calendar, when you look at the breakdown, you know, how INEC has, you know, earmarked its activities.
Yeah.
There really is no time.
There's
Only a
no
while
time.
ago, we thought the campaigns were so far away.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we're seeing political parties still bringing in, you know, some innuendos at this point now. There really is no time.
Yeah, if you watch the metamorphosis, if I have to use that word, of INEC in the last decade or in the last 20 years, you see that INEC has refined itself, reformed itself, upgraded itself when it comes to capacity, when it comes to trust, when it comes to perception. In fact, in the early 2000s, you hear of, as we are voting, they are announcing election somewhere. But it never happens anymore. People are having more confidence in INEC. And that is why INEC is putting its foot down in some of these decisions they're taking. And we're also happy that the government is also giving them some level of independence, you know, autonomy, go do your thing. And the courts are also there ensuring that everything INEC wants, you know, whatever the thing is, also trying to dispense with any issue regarding INEC in good time so that INEC can, you know, conduct its activity. Now, when politicians or people or traditional rulers, people, no, we want our people to be registered, please give them opportunity. If you give them until the 20-something of February, people will still keep registering. But INEC has to do the needful, because for every single day, somebody is turning 18. Every single day, somebody is turning 18 somewhere. So we can't wait for everybody. If you can't be involved in this cycle, the next cycle is there. After this election, you can get involved if you want to get involved. So INEC is doing a great job, and Nigerians have to support INEC. Another thing there is that the political parties, they have to do more in enlightening their followers, enlightening their members on how to go about voting processes and all of these. If people have a better awareness of what these things are, we won't even be having up to 1.1 million people.
It's actually astounding. And like Sam said, they're not even done. They're
not done yet.
These are people, the second categories of people, invalid votes, so people who, you know, had multiple registrations, which is an offense. INEC is stressing, you know,
So it means that
a host of, you know, so
it
many
means that some of the
factions.
people were hustling to go and register. We're trying to say, okay, I want to make sure that I vote 2 times because this is my candidate. This is my candidate must win.
But it's always one vote.
Absolutely.
They forget that one man, one vote. They think that they can put 419 into
it could be that or overzealousness, as have been noted.
No,
okay, we're having, you know, so much, you know.
I don't think most of it is overzealousness. Most of it is mischief.
Mischief.
And mischief and subversion of the rules.
I want to root for this. Okay, I'm so eager to go out there and vote. Okay, so much to talk about. Hopefully, during the course of the show.
There's also that issue of between Keyamo and Obi.
Okay, I don't know if we can take it up after.